Oh, I was on the wrong tab. What's up, everybody? We have a lot to talk about. We're here to recap the finale of Lovecraft Country. It's been a long journey. We went
Thank you
all the way
for
back. We went
thank
all
you
the way
for
back to
reminding me
Ardham,
that
bro.
thank you for reminding me that I need to produce an intro song so you stop using that generic intro.
We had a whole conversation in the group chat about it, and you still haven't made
You
anything.
still haven't did it, so yeah.
I've been busy
You
this
said
weekend.
you would,
I've been busy this weekend.
and everyone's
But
like,
anyway,
"Yeah, what's wrong with that?"
but anyway,
I.
but anyway, we tease special guests, but unfortunately, we only have AJ for you.
See, see, but it's cool. But it's cool because much like Montrose has been doing all season, and much like Tick did tonight, I'm a sacrifice for the boys.
Oh my god!
So let's go to the regular co-host. Courtney, what's up with you?
I'm feeling a lot of emotions.
Same. D, how we feeling over there?
Ditto. I'm here, but we're gonna figure it out.
If anyone has learned anything from this show, it's to be never to trust white women ever.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. Let's put that in our pocket because we really got to talk about that one. A lot of you are looking foolish right now. But before we get into that, we asked some poll questions earlier about this episode, what we would be expecting. The first is will Uncle Daddy George make a return in the flesh as an apparition or a memory? It was split three ways between in person, apparition, and he won't return at all. So he won't return at all. You folks were right. Also, if we get another season, would you prefer a continuation of the story or an anthology in the same universe? 25% said continuation, 75% said anthology, and nobody said one and done. So I think before we get into
damn, I should have voted because I'm one and done.
Yeah. I was just about to ask that. So, seeing what we saw with this episode and this entire season, do you want to see more out of this story, or are you cool with this resolution?
Out of this individual story, I don't think there's much more that can be done. I think that if they do anything else, I would rather see something. But then again, I would rather see something from the past, maybe. Mm-hmm. But even then, I am one of the kind of people that's like, if something's really well done, I don't like seeing things just continuing for money. And since, their source, even though they loosely based up the source material, they're pretty much run out of source material. And I, after Game of Thrones, have no trust in anyone continuing things from the source material, even if it's loosely based. So I would be fine. About to say that. Now, I think they should use this as an opportunity to say, hey, there's a lot of people interested in Afrocentric horror-based shows. So if they could turn their attention and maybe because the author of this novel was not black, he was white, maybe because there are black authors out there, and I'm sure with some Lovecraft-based shit, maybe look into that, because if anything, this show has shown there's money to be made with that. I'd rather see that than this.
So how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I don't want this story anymore, and that's not a bad thing. I'm just tired of their whole, and I don't mean tired as in sick of it. I mean tired as exhausted, physically tired. So if we move to somebody else, I'd be perfectly fine with that. I think
it's we're done with the Skywalkers.
Yeah, I was concerned on how they were going to wrap it up because we only had one episode, but I think she did it. She being Misha, I think she did it beautifully, and I think we're good with it being wrapped up, especially since they kind of gave us the story behind the Lovecraft Country book that George wrote. So we're just kind of seeing that is what everybody suspected. It's just his son taking the stories that have been told to him and then just writing it, kind of tweaking them a little bit. But I think we're good. I think we kind of know how everything kind of wraps up with their family and everything else. As far as a show like this, I'd of course watch it, but I don't want this one to go on. I think this one's good.
Yeah, I think there's an important lesson here. Just leave good enough alone. This was a great resolution for this story. It wrapped up there are no loose threads. We know what happened in the past, and we now know their future. So I don't think we need to ruin that by introducing more story here with this particular season. Now, if you want to do something of the same universe, the same feel, and anthology, yeah, cool. I would be interested in that. But this particular story, I think is done, and I really hope they leave that alone because yeah, let's just go ahead and get into the episode now. How do we feel about the finale itself?
And just right quick, and I'm not trying to call anybody dumb, but when I think anthology, I just want everybody to know I'm thinking kind of like, y'all know how American Horror Story goes.
That's yeah.
It's exactly it.
Or Fargo.
So yeah, like
Fargo.
Yeah. Before we kind of like move on from that, like I would like if it was like the same like actors or same writers and everything, but they're focusing on different Afrocentric horror type stuff, I would eat that up. Eat that up. I just think they should leave the story alone. There's nothing else that can be done with it. But like that's an idea. HBO, that's an idea. So
yeah, but you know HBO after Game of Thrones, they're gonna always go one more than they should.
Mm-hmm.
No, see, I don't think so because like think of the Watchmen, like the Watchmen,
yeah.
The Watchmen only didn't happen because Lindelof didn't want it to happen.
Okay, so they have and if Misha Green says I don't want to do another.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's on the creator. It's on the creator to say no.
But what I'm saying is HBO gives you that. Yeah, HBO gives you that flexibility to like where if you don't want to return, they're like, okay, cool. But if you want to, the door is always open. So
yeah, the flexibility is cool because you give people options. I'm okay with that. I just hope that if they decide to take the option, they do it well.
Hey, listen, as 2016 showed us, sometimes you can't give motherfuckers options.
Nah.
Sometimes, because if you give them a bad option, they asses certainly will take it. Vote.
but yeah, I am confident in this team and their ability to know that this is done. I did see something interesting in the episode description though. Is that this is finale of season 1, and like we've already established, this wasn't branded as a limited series
or series finale.
Yeah, so just tossing that out there. But AJ,
That's what I'm saying.
AJ, how'd you feel about this episode?
I mean, it was cool. I was wondering how they were going to land the bird. As we've alluded to multiple times, oftentimes when you are loosely basing something on source material and you take liberties with it and change it, it can be a little difficult to navigate the expectations of what's already happened and attempt to bring it in a way that's cohesive, but also like pays homage to what happened in the book. So knowing the ending of the book, I feel like they tied this up in an interesting way. I haven't read the book, so I can't say like whether or not it was better, but I do think they did a good job. It was a good finale. I felt like the ending, the final scene was a little gratuitous.
Yeah.
Like I kind of felt like seriously, we
they could have left that.
Yeah. We ain't really need to introduce Polo D to homicide. But aside from that, I felt like it was pretty good. Why are you looking like that, D?
Because I said the same thing. I was like, I know we needed to see her arm and to know that it was her, but we really didn't need to see D catch a body at, how old is she?
Yeah, she's like 12 or 13.
She could have pointed to the monster and like 6. She could have.
You know what they could have done instead that I thought that they were going to do, and I thought would be neat, was that like that's like her little, her Shoggoth is obviously she trained it is her protector now. But if it's like that Greek mythology story, I forget the character's name, where his eternal punishment is, I think it's like vultures come up and eat his innards every day. Mm-hmm. I'm like, that would be really dope if they did that to Christina every day. A show, because she's immortal, right? She can't die. I would have loved to see this where like a show every day came up and just like ate her ass up, and she had to endure that every single day. That would have been cool.
That would be excellent.
Is she still immortal though? Since Letty took the magic.
Like that would have been to me. I'm like, and then like dudes like the.
No, I don't think she's immortal.
Yeah. I thought Letty snatched it away.
Yeah, but like I personally would have liked that. I would have liked to see that, and I genuinely thought that that's what was going to happen. I was like, "Oh, that's badass!" If they're going to like go that Greek mythology route, and she just has to. That's her eternal suffering is that she's pinned down and she has to get eaten by a Shoggoth every day. I'm like, to me, that would have been a better idea, but that's just my mind. So,
So D looks D. How you feeling? How you feeling?
I feel the same about the Shoggoth or about D.
Well, just about the episode, about the finale. Like, did you like it?
I did. There were the only part that I was upset about, and it was because I was upset that I didn't know from the jump that was Christina and not Ruby. That's the only thing that made me mad, because I was like, I should have known that she'd taken a potion to turn into Ruby, and not that wasn't Christina, because I was just excited
when I saw the bio,
that Ruby
I
had
thought
come
something
through.
was up.
Yeah, I was like, it's not gonna.
The way that Christina looked at her,
Third eye wasn't working, y'all.
The way that Christina looked at her, I was like, okay, cool. There's a little bisexual moment, but I was like, I don't trust her. I was like, and I just want to say, all the people that were coming for me, take it from the resident expert on white women. Do not trust white women.
Trust those white women.
But here's the thing:
there.
I do think she like
trust those white women over there.
I think she liked Ruby, but here's the thing: like, I'm sure she liked other people too. Like, it still doesn't matter. Like, she still sees black people as beneath her. Like, she could like her, but also think of her as expendable. Like, they're not mutually exclusive.
Yeah, okay. So here's my take on that, and this goes into the thing when you see clearly racist ass white person, and they say like, "Oh, I can't be racist. My partner is black." So like you said, she obviously liked Ruby. But at the same time, she had one ultimate goal, and anybody who stepped in the way of that goal was going to get taken care of. So that doesn't matter. So for all you people out there who said Christina isn't the real villain of the show, what were you watching for?
The tweet that said Montrose was the villain. How dare you? How dare you? I'm going to be saying, you said a black man who's gay and who, like, he's not a great person. I would get that, but like, who suffered abuse his whole life and because of internalized homophobia. You said the black man is more of a villain than the white woman who's a white supremacist and a woman.
I'm about to Photoshop the Koofy on you right now.
This telling you the whole show that she is the villain. Like, she's been saying it the whole time.
Yeah, I did that. That reminds me of like when one of my mixed cousins one day said someone can't be racist if they date a black person, and I was like, so what about slavery? And he was like, well, that's different. And yeah, I don't want to say what transpired, but stupid ass people like that do exist. And yes, I am referring to my own family as stupid because he's fucking stupid. But
how's it different?
You
like, what just was because the rationale? How was it different?
I don't want to get into it because I don't like propagating stupid nonsense. But however, just because a white person likes somebody who is of a different race does not mean that they are not racist. Just because you are fucking someone of a different race does not mean that you are not racist. Just like closet gay people can propagate homophobia. Like, these things completely occur. Men like women and propagate patriarchy all the damn time. Like, we see this, yet is this segment of the population that whenever they see a white woman do something remotely woke, they have to overly praise and hand out cookout invites and stupid ass shit like that. Like, she's not still a racist white woman.
And her whole goal is, here's my thing, it's like her whole goal this whole time, it wasn't like she was trying to do something good for the good of the world. Like, the whole goal is immortality, which is just selfish. Like, you have this access to magic and you're not helping anybody. She wouldn't even help D. She, like, of course I was happy to see the sheriff die, but she had the choice to help D and she didn't. And yet people were like, yes, she loves Ruby. And guess what? Ruby's dead now.
Something you said segues into my next point. I only have one correct take of the entire season. Only one. You guys probably don't even remember it. Hannah was walking out the door and she said something, and it was inaudible at the time. She said, "Save them all." Only I caught that. That's my one victory of the entire season. I just wanted to point that out.
I personally really loved that was kind of the thing. And we'll get into that later, I guess.
Don't pull a muscle patting yourself on the back there, Ron.
I mean, we got to celebrate our victories. We know.
But I have to bring you down a little bit too.
Thank you. Keep me.
It's what I'm here for. I can't troll in the comments, so I have to troll like in person.
Oh my god.
But yeah, let's take it from the beginning. What did you guys think was what happening when they fainted and they went into the house, the ancestral house? What were your initial thoughts when you saw that?
To quote 21 Savage, them niggas gonna die.
Oh my
Basically, yes.
I thought it was another I thought it was like a dreamscape, like what it was. I did because we've seen it before, and it was the same. It looked about the same as the dreams that Letty and Atticus had previously. The thing that tripped me out though was when Dora's grandmother was talking to her about how Hannah thought it was hell because the way it looked and all this stuff, and then Hannah was saying I escaped and I ran into the fire that I escaped every day, and the pain was unbearable. And I'm thinking that sounds a lot like hell. Sounds a lot like hell.
But then said that it's because her rage fueled her so much until she realized it was her rage and she could use it.
Yeah, a personal hell.
I expected them to use that more. I expected them to use that more, but they didn't.
Yeah, I'm going to say this. In the very first trailer of Lovecraft Country, and I have to go back and find it, there's a scene where Atticus has flames in his hands. And I think that was maybe cut out, or maybe they didn't use that. I don't think I'm imagining that, but there's a scene where Atticus has his hands out and he has flames in both hands. So I thought that's that's where we were heading. Yeah.
I thought he was going to go Super Saiyan when he found out that they thought that Letty died. But maybe it's because he knew that she had the protection spell, which I had a feeling that she did, but I really was hoping that
flashback that wasn't Ruby saying the spell after she fell out the window.
Yeah, it was. No, it was.
Yeah, because after she hit the ground, Ruby says something.
I saw Ruby's face. Yeah,
Ruby says something magic out the window, and I thought that.
But it's not Ruby.
And no, remember when they were at the cemetery, she said we need to learn magic, and we don't know what happened between the time they left the cemetery and the time that Ruby went back to Christina. So she probably did the same thing that Montrose did for Atticus. I bet you Ruby did for Christina.
Either that, not to bestow the white woman virtue, but she actually did give Ruby her word that she would protect Letty. And she might have wanted to protect Atticus's offspring. So I thought that's what that was her retroactively giving her the invulnerability spell as a way to not go back on her word to Ruby, or if something went wrong, protect the next bloodline heir of the sons of Atticus.
And she did reiterate that Ruby's last word was to not kill Letty.
Yeah. So that's what I thought that was.
I didn't get that. I thought she was saying when she said she made me promise not to kill you. I thought that was her going back to when she asked the first time. When she was saying she was going to kill Atticus, remember Ruby said you have to promise not to hurt my sister. I think that's what she was talking about when she was like she made me promise not to kill you.
I thought she was saying that was her last words or something.
No, I think she full on planned to kill her, but they just had done something before then, because it looked when she saw Atticus. When Letty saw Atticus, it looked like they were like, okay, yes, it is gonna work or whatever. They had some kind of secret plan or thought. It looked like more than him just being excited to see that she was alive. It looked like he was excited because he's like, okay, it's gonna happen. Whatever the plan was, it's good now.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they partially expected that was their backup plan, was for it to go wrong.
Yeah.
So
you have to expect it, right? I mean, you're dealing with Christina.
I don't think Letty expected for Ruby to die, though.
I was just happy that it wasn't Ruby that was betraying him, because that would broke my heart.
Yeah. Ruby did get a bit of a redemption arc after being in love with the white devil. So yeah, shout out to Ruby. You are
after breaking the cardinal sin of trusting a white woman.
I don't think she did, though. I honestly think Ruby, I think she was in love or was in something with William, because look, I'm sorry, I know he's a demon, but that swag was impeccable. Okay. But I think that whole thing with Christina, I think that was a play.
I need a Dr. Umar clip right now, D. The swag was impeccable. It only takes a little bit of right brainwash.
The swag was
the average Negro.
The swag was impeccable. The swag was impeccable. But I don't think that was real at all. I think all of that was fake. I think from the time she got back from Letty, when she was showing her, looking at the spell and talking to her and kissing her and having sex with her or whatever she was doing, I think all of that was fake. I don't think she.
I think that was fake too. I think beforehand she had feelings for Christina, yeah. But here's the thing: I think she didn't pull off the play well, and I think even before Letty or before Ruby took the vial, I think Christina knew. As soon as she's like, "Is something wrong?" Christina knew.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Ruby was
could tell too, because you have to remember she's been intimate with William, and that's still Christina. So I'm pretty sure Christina is like, "Nah, this ain't it. Yeah. I know what it is, and this ain't it." So
yeah, something missing.
Okay, another tab. I just rewatched it, and Ruby definitely looked down on Letty after she pushed her down and said something magical. I don't know what the spell was.
She did.
But yeah, she definitely is looking down on her. It says something magical. So I don't know if that was it, but like we'd have to go back and compare what the words were. But she definitely did that.
Do y'all think that Christina was testing Ruby's loyalty? Because I don't even think that was her blood in the first place. Like, I think like she had a feeling that they were going to try something. Because here's the thing: what threw the whole thing off was Titus showing up. I think Christina would have never known a thing unless Titus showed up with Christina like that. And I think Christina was testing Ruby's loyalty when she said, "Oh, my blood is in that vial." Because why would she just have her blood just chilling? And why would she mention that? I think that was a test of loyalty.
Yeah, and
it was too convenient. It was too convenient.
That's definitely what it was, because she told her.
She should have knocked her ass out and then
caught her trying to steal it or something like that.
Yeah, she should have knocked her ass out and took it from her that way. Honestly,
don't trust white women.
Yeah. So let's go through. so let's go through the plan. Who wants to break down Team Atticus's plan? Who wants to take that?
No.
Who wants to take that?
I have to do it. I was tweeting, so I'm sure I watch it again.
Hey, AJ, how about you?
Why I gotta break this shit down?
Because
I'm not the explanation guy.
I'm
like
I'm doing handouts.
The plan as it was, or what the intended plan was.
The intended plan.
The intended plan.
So the intended plan was for Atticus to ingest some white people flesh. After they summoned what's his face and carved him up, Titus, and poked him up like Joey Greco and Paul Pierce. They carved off a little pork
tenderloin,
a little pork tenderloin off of his man titty. Then they had Ruby. Letty decided to show Ruby the Book of Names, despite the fact that she was her coon chip had been activated by some white man swag and penis. Paul. I don't know why y'all had me do this. And the plan was to go to Ardham and have Tick ingest said white flesh to make him immune to Christina's powers, I guess. And then they was pouring salt around in a circle in the woods and drawing shit up, and that was supposed to negate the ceremony.
Yeah, because the entire purpose of that is like, basically the three bodies become one, and once you ingest that, then it breaks the intended purpose of the ceremony. But AJ said it better than I could. Thank you, AJ.
So to go with what I think was the backup plan, do we think that should I go ahead and say what the backup plan spell was, or should we wait?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's taking away from all white people the ability to do magic. Do we think that was their backup plan? Because to me, that's what it sounds like Hannah's plan was. Hannah's plan.
I think that was playing all the time.
I think that was Tick's plan in general. Because in his letter to Montrose, he said one last secret. So I think that his plan in general was to sacrifice himself to make sure the white people couldn't use magic anymore.
So
now, whether everybody else was in on it is a whole other thing.
So do we think that he had a feeling? Because I think by him telling Letty not to involve Ruby, and maybe like one, he didn't trust Ruby, but two, he knew that Christina might know better. Do we think that's why he told Letty not to involve her?
No, I think he just didn't trust her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But to me, Letty was always like the contingency plan, because she was the one who was going to bind the book after the deed was done, to make sure that, you know, no white person could ever use this again. And so I think yeah, she was always like the contingency. So there was like Atticus' plan, and then there was her as well. So yeah, I think those plans were kind of like working in tandem. But Letty was definitely there to like close the door shut after everything was done.
Yeah, then there's no way that they tried to do a protection spell for her if they knew that was her job.
Mm-hmm.
And Hannah's self-sacrifice, her suicide was to bind the book, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what she killed herself. Okay, just making sure.
Okay.
So yeah, it obviously takes someone of that family's of their bloodline.
The bloodline. Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Titus was full out racist, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He dropped the hard R, immediately. As soon as he saw it.
That's the
Tick had to get some few extra pokes in. He was like,
the whole reason he even impregnated Hannah was because he saw her as less than him, and he's like, well, I don't care about this baby, even though it still has my blood, and we're going to use this baby to sacrifice to do the ceremony.
Yeah, man.
That's where you messed up.
That's what the red hats meant by great again.
He's supposed to be the generous one, right? When the script that I gave him, generous.
Yeah, he was generous, all
generous,
right.
Yeah. Passing around that thing.
So yeah, back to get back on track. If this show tells us anything, is that nothing ever goes as planned. So at what moment did you realize in the episode, like, oh, the plan as intended probably isn't gonna work? Because to me, it was like when they were like in the car and they were singing and all happy, I was like, what's about to happen here? Yeah.
I thought the remember when Christina cut the racist white boys off and the car flipped over? I thought that was about to happen. I thought the car was just gonna flip over. But at least they had one happy occasion. Isn't that what Christina said? They had one, or Ruby.
Yeah, the
trip there. One of them said, who said it? At least the trip here.
Yeah, it was Ruby. Ruby is Christina.
Yeah, that was
It said her made her recognize the pull of.
And they took Christina there the whole time. That's crazy.
Yeah, I knew it was off the minute Letty showed her that damn book. I was like, oh, this ain't finna go well.
Yeah, I was like, nah.
I was either Ruby's gonna take the book or something. I just had a feeling something was gonna go. It's like, because again, trusting a white woman never ends well.
The coon chip was activated.
And here's the thing. Wait. Here's the thing. No, they trusted Christina to be stupid enough to not suspect something.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they've known she's gotten around plans before. Like I said, as soon as Titus showed up, that was they should have been like, okay, she knows.
Yeah, because I mean, there's only so many white men with knee-high boots in the streets. So once she saw that, she knew something was up. And then of course when Ruby got back to the place, she was like, oh, what's this? What's all this? So yeah, like you said earlier, that was a bad play. And Ruby is now, dearly departed. So.
Gone with the ancestors.
Yeah. I don't think she made it back. Nah, she not allowed in the house. Yeah.
But the truth.
So again, I want to revisit everyone that was like, you guys are so wrong. You're not giving Christina enough credit. She did that because she loves Ruby. She's different. She's an ally.
Christina don't love anybody but herself.
She's an ally. She helped Atticus.
This episode is called. Look, this episode is called Full Circle. So just to circle back around to the most disgusting part of this season, she had any possible method in the world to test the invulnerabilities spell. Which method did she choose? She chose to die like a black boy who was lynched in Mississippi. And people was like, oh well, you know, it's she really wanna no, like this entire season she's been telling you that she was evil, and people still try to
she was
give her
laughing. She was not crying, she was laughing.
Yeah.
Like I said, I am the resident expert on Caucasian women.
No, we got it.
Listen to me.
Christina is Black Noir. Boom. There you go. Christina is Black Noir. Like she's been the entire time. It's
what does she have? What would she have had to do for people to really just like understand she was the villain?
There was
this episode. There's probably still gonna be people like. She did it because she cared. She was hurt. Her feelings were hurt.
What do white women in general have to do to be persecuted for their crimes?
I want to see the same people.
Something completely egregious and straight to the point that motherfuckers make you
I want to hear from the people that shipped Christina and Ruby that were telling us, especially the people I mentioned. Telling me I was so wrong. I didn't know what I was talking about.
Where's the fun flex
video? Where are you?
She lied.
She lied.
Y'all niggas worshipped her.
It was all, or that what do we do? It was all a lie. It was all a lie. No, I'm just show yourselves. I'm curious. Where are you? You're a little quiet.
But I think. But yeah, like I said, this entire season has been highlighting something very important. And I was talking to Dee about this off the air. So back when they were doing a press tour for Get Out, someone asked Allison Williams a question about her character, and she was like, no. Like, this character is like the most evil person in the movie, but just because she's a white woman, people think that she's, maybe she's being held against her will or something.
Right.
Like, no.
And people were like, maybe she's trying to save him. And I'm like, did you not remember the part where it took Jordan Peele doing something like crazy with her, like eating, like the way she was eating cereal, for people to be like, oh, she's crazy.
Yeah. So I think the entire point of that is to highlight how just because these people are like, basically, you don't, like, okay, their proximity to evil makes them evil as well. Like, just because she says, like, okay, they're evil, I'm gonna do things a different way. Like, you're just doing the same evil plan in a different way. Like, so by proxy, like, you're still evil. So,
like, the woman who's in my mind responsible for Emmett Till's death, she didn't physically kill him, but she led to his death, and she knew it.
Perfect.
And the only reason she ever even admitted to it is because she wanted to get right with God. And I hope he stared her in the eyes when he sent her right to hell.
He probably did.
I hope so.
She deserved to die, and I hope she's burning in hell.
Yes.
Burning.
So Gia is pretty much the co-MVP, I would say.
Yeah, I was happy to see my girl again.
The only thing I wanted her to kill that white man so bad. I was like, just please kill him right here.
Tick getting his baby mama and his ex to work together for his benefit. That is a lot of black men's dreams.
Tick was Lou Will before Lou Will. Yeah,
exactly.
Tick got great taste.
I'm glad he at least apologized. I'm glad. I feel like he partially apologized because he needed her help.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm glad.
Hey, look, baby, I was tripping. I'm under a lot of pressure right now. You know, them niggas down.
I'm about to die. You know,
this nigga Tyrone won't pay me my money. Like, Tick deserves his own wing flavor at Magic City. We need to add his wing flavor the same way we got Lou Will, honey barbecue, lemon pepper. We need to get Atticus his own wing flavor, because he got his ex to come from around the world to use her power to kill a white woman and help his baby mama at the same time. I mean, it's masterful. It's masterful. It's a lot of niggas out there that can't get that kind of cooperation from the women that they love, and he managed to do it.
I have something. Do we think, because now Gia has shown that she doesn't have to have sex with someone to use the tails, do we think the mom was the 100th soul? Because she mentioned how she passed. No.
No, I think she just passed.
Because when she took her 100 soul, she was supposed to not be the Kamiho anymore.
Because that's the thing. I think she's still at 99 because remember the guy sat down at the bar and she was like, yep. Are you willing to die for this? My answer would have been like, I'm curious, but she was like,
hey, I ain't gonna lie. There's a couple chicks on the timeline like I'm gonna start saying this to niggas. I'm like, a couple y'all fine enough that I'd say yes. So,
but no. So
either at 99, or it came full circle, and Atticus is her 100th soul.
But she's still around.
That third eye is just
that actually is a really good idea. No, I think
third eye.
Did it open?
Because that's what I thought. No, I had that same thought, and I was like, she's taking Atticus's soul from Christina, and I'm like, I'm wondering if that's affecting the immortality spell.
Yeah,
She's taking Atticus's soul right back out because she saw her like absorb his soul. I'm like, she's taking his soul out because she didn't take Christina's soul. She didn't see Christina's life. She only saw Atticus's life.
Did she see Ruby though?
She saw Christina in the flashbacks. She saw when she was with Ruby.
I think she saw both of them.
She saw where she was Ruby in the tower. Like she was seeing both of their kind of last.
Yeah.
Also, to go back to the shaman, she was like, you would see many deaths before. Yeah. So
yeah, I think she took both of their souls.
Christina.
You know what though? I'm thinking about a moment earlier in the show where she was even like, "Are you sure it stops at 100?" to her mom.
Well, I mean, that's what happened.
Yeah. But
it may have been a situation where you have to get 100, then come to me and then figure it out. But then now that she's dead, they're probably like, oh, you just go. But she said her name is Jaya, so she's being called, but she is just a Kamiho spirit. That's all she is, because she said she met young Gia, and I was like, oh, okay. So you're not Gia, like that. It's not like they're one. She just has her memories, and
the spirit inhabits the body. So
no, she doesn't have young Gia's memories. She only has the memories of of Gia's father. The memories that she has now are like hers. That's right. She doesn't actually have the original Gia's memories.
You're right. She's got the father. That's how she knew the song, because she used to sing. You're right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm thinking that maybe that may have been full circle, and their 100th spirit or 100th soul was Atticus. Mm-hmm. But like maybe we were wrong in that, like that was Gia, but Gia now has all the memories of the Cameo.
Yeah, because
the Great Darkness is only for the Cameo. It's not for Gia. They said that Gia will be back when the Cameo is gone.
Yeah, the Cameo is like, okay, I'm gone now. It was fun. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. On to the next one. So Montrose, the end. It felt like Simba and Mufasa.
It did.
Yeah,
in reverse. So that was heartbreaking.
It really was. It really was, because it was almost like, all right now, because his denial, like it was full out denial. It was like, all right.
Parents, in movies, I've seen that's how parents act almost every time. It's just kind of like,
I was like, he big dead. So the denial was like, I can't believe it, but it was a very touching moment for Atticus to be able to tell him, you have the opportunity to be. You have a second chance to be the father that you wanted to be. Don't mess this up. So that was a good moment. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm glad that Atticus was able to pass that message on. I think much. I mean, of course, grandparents always treat the grandkids better than their kids anyway. So yeah, I think Montrose will be a good father to our young George Freeman.
I mean, he became an author.
So according to the Hollywood Report, Ruby is the one who cast the spell on Letty.
Actual Ruby.
Yes, actual Ruby. They're saying Ruby got to look at the spells, and she's the one who cast it on Letty.
Yeah, because she was looking at the table and she was like, "Oh, what's this?"
So it was apparently her that did it.
Okay,
cool.
So
that's kind of beautiful, actually,
and it makes more sense because Christina giving it back to her makes no sense at all. None.
I mean, only from the standpoint of if it didn't work. She might have
With the
been
baby?
worried about, if it didn't work, at least she's got the baby there, and she knows that if the baby's safe, she can, turn around and do it. It's just when did Ruby did it? Maybe she just did it from afar.
I think it's beautiful. It's a poetic type thing that Christina got the thing she wanted, right? She struggled all this time to get it, just to have somebody take it right back. Like as soon as you got it, so you know it's possible, you know you had it, and then it's like, nope, let me have that.
It's kind of like what Black people have been dealing with in this country since we got here.
That's what I'm saying. I love it.
I still would have liked to see it be like that Greek thing I told you about, where like she has her immortality, she just has eternal suffering.
Like, I wanted her to be trapped there like forever and like just have birds.
That's what I was hoping.
It felt like this was gonna happen.
I mean, and not how the hands of the Black 12-year-olds fucked up too.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I didn't like that. I mean, I didn't
like them exposing her to that violence. Like to me, that felt like a little much for. Like I know she's been through a lot, but if like they were gonna have her kill somebody, it should have been the cop.
Yeah, I would have liked to have her kill the cop.
No, it's just not killing anybody, especially like that violent. It was just
the better ending, like just to even show that at all, would just to have a Shoggoth come and eat at her every day. That would have been great. She got her immortality, but she's suffering.
Yeah,
that's what I would have liked.
The reason I think they didn't do that is because I don't know how that would have jived with them sealing the book of her not having magic anymore, because it wouldn't seem to make any sense that she would be able to keep any of the spells.
Unless they cast a spell doing that. It could
purposefully that you could
Okay, that's actually kind of lit, like giving her like vulnerability just to be eaten every day. That's kind of
Can we retcon this episode, Misha, and just have that ending? And I genuinely thought that's what they were going to do, and I was just kind of disappointed. I don't like that they involved Dee. I was like, that could have been just the job of that Shoggoth, is just to come and just demolish Christina every day, and she goes back and has to be destroyed by it every day.
Yeah, see, I thought she was going to seek the Shoggoth on.
That's what she deserves.
Yeah, that's what
she deserves.
To me, that would have been better than her being choked out. Is having the gangster dog killer.
Yeah.
And like to reveal the robot arm, they could have just had like Dee like showing it when like the Shoggoth came or whatever. Like they could have done it that way.
Yeah. Did Atticus get to spend time with George, his son George, or did he just meet him, or did he just see that the book was by him when he went through the portal?
No, because wasn't he?
He said he was only there for a second.
Yeah, he was.
So the person with the metal arm gave him the book and pushed him through.
It's D.
He was handed the book by D.
Well, how did he notice that's his son? Did you see the picture?
Yes, it's George Freeman.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, George Freeman. And then as he was reading the book, he was like, "This is my family's history," because there are things in there that that only that family could have known. So yeah, it makes sense for Dee to give him the book, because of course Dee would be there to receive the book from George, and she was like, "Here, take this." So now,
did he say a man with a metal arm handed me the book?
No, he said someone with
somebody. Okay, I was gonna say, because even if it were her that did it, he could have mistaken her for a man. I mean, it's not, if it was quick, he just assumed it was a man. Okay, so the thing I think that is the most tragic, I guess I should say, is that yes, Letty got to save pretty much everybody. She saved them all, and she got magic, and her son is safe. But she fell in love with this person. She suffered pretty much the whole time she was with him, and then he died. That sucks. Like she never got to truly be happy.
When he finally showed how much he cared too, I was like, dang.
She never got like to be really truly, and I'm sure they've had moments, right? We don't get to see everything. I'm sure there were times where they were together, but the fact that we never got to see them truly happy or truly have time like we did with him and Gia, I hate that we didn't. Like, it's almost like we were robbed of that, but that's okay. I mean, I'm not chastising the show for it, because that may have been purposeful.
I'm sorry, I was just reading the supposed synopsis of Space Jam 2, and I just want to know why this movie is being made.
AJ, come on, man.
But I feel like
I just happened to look at Twitter and saw that Reddit and was like, why is this movie being made?
We can't mess with perfection. But anyway.
Yeah, but not only did she have to go through that tragedy, she's dealt with that. He died, her sister's dead, and now she's got a baby to raise, which is beautiful. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure that's going to be great, but that's also going to be a constant reminder that Atticus is dead. So her family is, I guess, Montrose and Hippolyta. Like, that's her family now.
Yeah, Montrose,
Hippolyta. She had a brother wherever
he
is.
Yeah.
But still. And maybe Dahlia, I don't know what happened. Yeah. But that's it's just, I guess, heartbreaking that the Black woman she just suffered through pretty much the whole show.
She got that big ass house too. I'm sure that'll be worth a lot in gentrified Chicago.
I hope so. I hope so.
But she got the house. But remember what she had to do to get that house. Like, she's been through it.
I would just be worried about raising a kid in there, because if that little nigga go down to the wrong floor and get lost in one of them tunnels,
I'm in Kansas City now.
Like, hey, shit, where did that nigga go? You see the elevator in the basement and find that nigga rattle in there and that nigga crawling around and end up in fucking Massachusetts somewhere?
Like, they'll fix it.
Need to seal that shit off.
They might do that too. Just tell them don't go down there. Just cut it off.
Now, D, you know good and well that you can't tell no kid not to do something and expect them not to do. We just saw a whole episode about D leaving in the middle of racially charged Chicago to go run around and throw rocks at kids. And
don't remind me of that. Please don't remind me of that.
Do what my parents did, which was when they were married, there was a laundry chute in the house, and my parents never said anything because they know our stupid asses would try to slide down it because we saw it on Rugrats. So I didn't find out that there was a laundry chute in that house until I was 20 years old. Because he was like, "No, y'all were stupid," and it's true. Because if I would have had that information, I would have died. Because my dumb ass would have woo.
Oh, absolutely. My brother most definitely would have made me the guinea pig for something like that if we had it in the house. Like, we used to. As a matter of fact, one time we took my oldest niece to Treetop, I think it was, with all the little inflatable shit in Birmingham, and my mom was like, "Oh, I'm so glad this didn't exist when y'all was little, because one of y'all would have been on top of that damn thing, trying to jump into the other one's arms." I'm like, "Yeah, that's 100% correct."
Do we think that's when Montrose goes home, he just goes and he gets to be with Sammy and be happy and free? And
he's probably never going to be fully happy because he watched his son die. But other than that, yeah, I think he'll be more open.
Are we asking if Montrose?
I mean, this is still the 1950s.
AJ, no, AJ.
I don't feel like Montrose. I don't feel like Montrose is going to be like Huey. I don't think he's going to leave the boys alone.
Is he going to be out though, or is it just
trying to stop it? I was trying to stop it before we got
I'm ignoring it. You got to.
He's going to be more like Billy Butcher. He's going to put on for the boys.
Just push through, run, push through.
But yeah, I think Montrose is like, I think of course he's proud as hell of his son, like, although his son is dead, but his son died doing something like beautiful and amazing. Hero, and I think yeah, exactly. He's a hero. And I think he's finally because he went back to Tulsa and saw like something from his childhood. I think now in present day, he's going to finally like be more comfortable living his truth. So yeah, I do think he's going to be a good father to young George Freeman. He's going to, finally live with Sam, and he's going to be more actively involved in the family and not get trapped in dungeons underneath huge towers in Ardham anymore.
You know what, Mom? What I just realized. Go ahead, Dave.
I was just gonna say, go ahead. I can ask you when you're done. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I just had kind of like an epiphany. Who was it that said when they realized? I think it. Okay, but who was it that said, "Oh, they have magic too," and when it referring to white people?
It was Montrose.
Who was it? It was
Montrose.
But remember, this is full circle because now they took away the ability of every white person from having magic. That was the full circle.
Hey, imagine if you could like sacrifice yourself to like remove white privilege.
I will do it.
I kind of feel like that's what that's what this was kind of.
I will mash that button right now. Where's that?
Like,
button?
Imagine if you could like die and take out an evil white chick with you, and like at the end of it, like all white privilege is just magically erased from the planet.
So yeah, that's probably what this is a complete metaphor for.
Hey, I mean, shit, nigga, I'm happily doing it. All I'm asking for is like a date with Snow Allegra or something like that is payment, and we in there.
This AJ's like, this is my final meal.
But anyway,
that was right? Do we think that Atticus gets to go and like live on the?
Yeah, I think.
Like on the ancestors.
He's in the,
he's in the house. He's in the house.
That's good.
I do think that moment. I think that's one reason why they address that is that like Atticus is with the ancestors now, which again I thought was a beautiful.
He just got to eat the heart-shaped herb, and he'll go see him.
I am glad that Hannah got to see him get stabbed by her direct descendant. I'm sure that was a healing moment for her spirit to be able to see that.
So they'll all be together again eventually. I mean, I know
he's with his mom, which like I had a feeling with as many moments as they had him like longingly looking at his mom. I'm sure like I had another feeling. I was like, he's gonna go be with his mother.
I think did y'all notice how it's like we've seen different types of faith and magic and religion all throughout the show. And the good thing is that it didn't demonize any of it. I mean, except the white magic, of course, but like none of the voodoo or the religion baptisms or the magic that they got from the Book of Names or calling on the ancestors. They didn't take any of that as a bad thing. They just took it as like, all of these things work for your good, and it's okay to use all of these things to get what you need.
I'll tell you what I like. I like the fact that they found this book written by white people and translated by white people, and rather than using it to be passive and forgive motherfuckers who have committed atrocities against you, they did some shit to benefit the rest of the world. Message.
But one thing, if I could have changed, one thing
Why you look like that, man?
Because I wanted people. That was an office moment. I wanted people to know that I was, making an allegory to something else.
Breaking the fourth wall.
Bible.
One thing I would have changed though, and I do think I saw a tweet by Mixture Green that she said that she didn't have regrets, is the way that they handled like an indigenous person, and they used an indigenous person as a plot device, and they actually mishandled the kind of what's behind the two spirit, and hopefully that was a learning moment, because like I kind of had a weird feeling about it myself. But a lot of indigenous people apparently like had tweeted Misha Green, and she did say like I do realize that it kind of was tone deaf to immediately kill an indigenous person like that. So that's one thing I wish they would have changed completely, even if it was just I don't know what they could have done, like just made the two spirits purpose just kind of like go back with people, but not be murdered brutally. I really still just does not sit right with me. But I'm glad that Misha is like, yeah, I learned from that. That was kind of shitty to do.
Yeah, man. Much Montrose, much like the members of the boys, committed a grisly murder for what he thought was the betterment of the world.
Oh, okay. I thought you were about to do something else. Go ahead. Say that again.
I said Montrose, much like the boys, committed a grisly murder for what he thought is the betterment of the world.
Okay, I thought you were going somewhere else.
The Montrose boys,
yeah, you have to be careful with that one.
But there is a lesson to be with that, though. Like, still have to be very careful.
I'm not going to get us canceled.
No. I didn't mean canceled. I meant your running joke.
Oh, no. I've made enough of those tonight. Maybe, unless I go to the opening.
Unless the opportunity presents itself. So Hippolyta's just going to be magnificent and
perfect.
Yeah.
Olympia Blue, create advanced prostheses.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm with it.
Pretty impressive arm for the time. Yeah.
I'm with it too.
Out here in the 1950s.
I love it. I love the
3D printed arm.
Yeah, how are they going to explain that? I guess they're not. I mean, who has to explain anything? But
it looks like something she can like.
She had it covered.
Yeah.
She had
or something that she might be able to like take off.
Oh yeah, she probably wouldn't have taken it
off. She probably just does. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, like when she's in school, she probably just takes it off.
So all should be good then now, right? Because we've got magic.
Looking like some Slim Jim.
It was awful. It was pretty bad.
But I love just But like the look on Christina's face, and I'm like, oh yeah, no white people can practice magic. The look on her face, again, because she was upset that no white person could practice it. She's a white supremacist. She was never an ally. She was never a friend. She killed Ruby.
Yeah,
don't
kill Ruby.
Get my nerves.
Trust those white women over there.
And try to kill Letty. Don't forget that.
Don't you trust those white women over there. Don't you trust those white women with the fingers on the trigger?
So yeah, I think
white women.
I think this is a good time to say so closing words regarding Lovecraft Country. That's
what we should call this episode. Well, never mind, that might get us canceled if we call that episode.
It'll get deleted. We'll get the Twitter account suspended because anything about killing white people, they're suspending people. So
even final thoughts.
I love this series. I think we should leave it as is, just perfect in its own way.
I'm just upset I can't make any more Montrose the Boys references on podcasts anymore.
I am delighted. D, how you?
Me too. I thought it was beautiful. I realized that I think it was the right amount of story because, like I said, it was starting to get to the point where I was excited to see it, but I was also tired. Like my body was kind of like preparing myself for suffering almost. I can't really describe it because I don't want people to think I was just tortured the whole time I was watching it, but I wasn't. Like I had to, I guess, mentally prepare myself for sadness, for potential sadness for an hour. Because usually, whenever something good happens, something bad was going to happen too. So I don't know, but I really, really, really enjoyed it. I think it was paced well. I think there was not an episode that I did not like. I think the story wrapped up really well. I just think it was very beautifully done. I enjoyed it very, very much.
Yeah, I enjoyed this season, and let's say more black people on adventures. You know, we can do that. So
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, for an adventure show, I really love the story. I really love the mythology of the show. So yeah, let's have more shows like this. Trust creators like Misha Green. You know, and even support her when she messes up and she's willing to mess up. You know, give her the same opportunity you would give the people that have messed up 50,000 times still get opportunities.
Caucasians.
So, exactly. So yeah.
Whiteness.
That's all.
Oh, go ahead, Courtney.
Whiteness. I was gonna say, like, that's my thing. We don't have to continue this story. It's perfect as it is. But what we should do is give more opportunity to Black stories, Black actors, Black writers, producers. Like, if anything, like, we should have known already, but like how many people I haven't been watching it, like keeping up with the ratings or the viewership, but the amount of people that have been tweeting about it, talking about it, like, this is a hit show. They gave it a primetime slot. If this isn't proof that you need to have more Black voices, not only on your screen, but behind the screen, I don't know what is.
Also,
because this is perfect.
Let me take this time to do a quick little woke rant. For all the Black people out there who are constantly complaining about representation, you see what the fuck happened when a Black woman took something, even if it wasn't completely original, and turned it into some super dope Black. Write the shit that you want to see. Stop asking for representation from these people who have been creating the same stories over and over and over and over. Stop asking the white writer to do a Black, gay, Latino, whatever character and expect it to be done correctly. You need to have people that, the same way Misha messed up with the indigenous thing and didn't realize, it's probably because there wasn't somebody indigenous in the room to say, hey, this is messed up, this is wrong. If you want this stuff, you go out and write it, or seek out the people that are writing it, because the one thing that the internet has done is made stuff extremely small. So there are people out here writing the stuff that you want to see. Stop complaining and whining when stuff isn't done correctly, and either go write it yourself or seek out the people that are doing it. It signal boost them so that maybe they can get an HBO TV show that shows the stuff you want done correctly.
That's a great note, AJ.
Salute the coup.
So if you're still watching,
I knew it.
If you're still watching and you're wondering what we're going to watch next, it's going to be The Mandalorian on Disney Plus. But before then, we have an interesting opportunity.
Steve doesn't want to watch The Mandalorian, apparently.
We have an interesting opportunity for you. I just dropped a comment down there. So we are having a mailbag episode. This is obviously a recap podcast, so any TV related questions you want to ask us by clicking on that form right there. We'll, if we read your question you may have a chance to win that cool cup that D is holding. So
wait, where's my thing? There it is.
So yeah, on last week's episode, the mailbag episode, just let us know. And
speaking of on last week's episode, we have hoodies with the on last week's episode logo. I just ordered a hoodie from the site. It wasn't on last week's episode thing, but we have hoodies and cups and other things
and shirts and stuff.
Should buy one. And
if you have
follow and subscribe to all of our platforms, because when we start hitting certain milestones, we might be buying some of our merch and giving it to you. And you can stop Courtney from showing up at your home with a PVC.
That's what I was about to say. If you think Christina, remember what I said about not trusting white women? I will find you. I will track you down. And I will stare at you and force you.
You've seen Man of Steel. Think of how angry Zod was when, like,
I will find you.
I will find him. That's like Court. If you guys don't, like, she's gonna come to your home and break a bunch of buildings
the whole time
and break a bunch of buildings like Zod. Yeah, see, look at all this merch. You get a tote bag, you get a hoodie. You got different colors.
Yeah, only could you know. Make it faster to have an opportunity to win one of these. You don't have to deal with me showing up to your home.
Wear crown shirts and hoodies. Come on, guys.
Oh, we need velour. We need velour hoodies. Come on.
We need a whole. If we need a KWC velour sweatsuit, and I'm going to keep on saying this because then I'm getting a KWC.
AJ and I will be wearing the velour sweatsuits like if it's the middle of July.
A KWC velour sweatsuit with a KWC Kango. Court's mama here. Courtney is a pit bull. She will do it.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you.
If you have some of our merch, send us pictures.
Mom, don't bring up the PVC pipe story, please.
Yes, as you said, if you have pictures of our merch, send it. We still have the shirt.
Take a picture, tag us.
Yeah, we love to see that. Absolutely, please.
Like 3 years, it's still holding up. Very high quality.
That's right. It's not peeling, and it's been washed repeatedly.
Graphics still there. It's been washed. I've worked out in this shirt.
Yeah, they're comfortable too.
Multi-purpose shirt.
If nothing else, though, we really, really want to say we appreciate you guys staying up with us after the episode, logging in with us after the episodes, commenting, tweeting, giving your feedback. We appreciate it very much because we do this because we enjoy it, but we really, really, really like to know that you guys enjoy it too. So thank you.
Thank you. We really it makes me excited when I see people tweeting reactions to our episodes. So we do see that and we really appreciate it. So
yeah, I echo those sentiments. Thanks for watching. Continue to watch us. Share, promote, follow, whatever you need to do. Buy merch. Until next time.
Wait, hold on. Giancarlo Esposito, you can force choke me anytime.
Courtney. See, no, we are done.
There's only room for one of us doing this. See, this is why
your mother is here.
This is why I said you and Shantae tweeting each other was a terrible thing because it's only encouraging you to take up my. I'm supposed to do this, Courtney. That is my lane.
Jump in there now. Now I'm with it. Jump in there, Courtney. But your mom's here. Remember that.
Oh no, she knows how I am. So
yeah, my mom has heard me say far worse things. So
she's heard me say way worse. Bye.
We're gone.